is a review of the Edgenuity lesson, adding and subtracting polynomials. So when I watched the video, they say a lot about adding the opposite or the additive inverse. If that confuses you, don't do it. Just add and subtract like normal. So for example, on this one here, when you're adding two polynomials, there's nothing you really have to do with the parentheses. There's nothing being multiplied in the front. You're just adding. So I would just rewrite this as negative x squared plus 9. And then, so this would be plus a negative is just minus 3x squared minus 11x plus 4. So all the signs, when you add, all the signs stay exactly the same. Negative, 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 positive, positive. And then from there, just combine your like terms. So here we have x squared, x squared. So negative x squared combined with negative 3x squared is negative 4x squared. And then we have just a plain negative 11x there, so nothing to combine. And then we also have the constants 9 and 4. So positive 9 and positive 4 is positive 13. So the next one we're going to subtract, and we're going to write our answer using descending powers of x. So we don't care about what the y is, only what the x is. So when you subtract, there is one extra little thing you have to do. So you are subtracting all of these terms, all three of those. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to distribute the subtraction to all three. The first one, you can just pull the parentheses off. It doesn't do anything. So negative 2x cubed y squared plus 4x squared y cubed minus 3xy to the fourth. Okay, so now I'm going to distribute my negative here. So I have minus 6x to the fourth y minus the negative here turns it into a positive 5x squared y cubed. Distribute the negative minus a negative again, that's going to turn it into a positive y to the fifth. Okay, so looking at for our x's, the highest variable I see for an x is right here. Let me make sure there are no other x to the fourth in there. There's not, so that's going to go first. So I'm going to go negative 6x to the fourth y. So then counting one down from that would be x cubed. Do we see any x cubes? Looks like I have one here. And that's it. So minus 2x cubed y squared. So x to the fourth, x cubed, now x squareds. Got one there, it looks like we got another one here. So those ones we're going to put together because they're both x squared y cubed. So 4 plus 5 is positive 9x squared y cubed. Then just a singular x on its own, just this guy here. So minus 3xy to the fourth, and always go, oh, no, that's not a constant, but y to the fifth is going to go last. Okay, example 3 says, what are the degree and number of terms in example 1 and example 2? So for example 1, in our final answer, our degree, there's only one variable, so it's the biggest exponent is 2. There are 1, 2, 3 terms, so that means it's a trinomial. Okay, for example 2, so the one that we listed first is x to the fourth y. Now, when you have two variables, you have to add up exponents. Remember, there's an imaginary 1 right there on the y, to get the degree. So this is, if there was no y, it would be degree 4. But it has x to the fourth, y to the first. So that's 5 total variables there. So this would be degree 5. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms. Anything 4 and more, 4 and above, we call a polynomial. Okay, and for the last example, it says, what is the additive inverse of negative 3x squared plus 4x plus 72? The additive inverse just means if I were to add it onto this, everything would cancel out. So you just make everything its opposites. The additive inverse of this polynomial is going to be positive 3x squared minus 4x minus 72. You just change all their signs, and that's how you find the additive inverse.